What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Chase on Two Wheels First Ride here at my boys at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell. I know, I'm late to the game, but in front of us we have a 2019 KTM Duke 790. Now, this is KTM's kind of like middleweight naked. And if you guys recall from other videos, because I make more videos than just first rides, hashtag subscribe, hashtag like the video, but I'm in the market for a middle to high weight naked motorcycle, obviously. So this is one of the motorcycles that I'm highly considering. So this first ride, obviously I do this for you guys, but gotta be honest, a little bit of it is selfishly for me. Without any further ado, let's show some cinematics, let's pay some bills with a sponsorship, and then let's go ride this freaking awesome motorcycle. Where's the key? There it is. On your mark, get set. Oh wait, we're ready to race. Get it?
So guys, this first ride is proudly brought to you by the guys over at Dollar Shave Club. We all have our everyday grooming routines, from showering to brushing our teeth and to, yes, shaving. For me, 2018, I let it get a little too scruff, so in 2019, I'm trying to keep the face cleaned up. No matter your routine, Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to help you look, feel, and smell your best. A lot of you have probably heard of Dollar Shave Club and think they only stick to shaving products. Well, don't let the name deceive you. Dollar Shave Club can solve all of your grooming needs in one box. Shower products, oral care products, hair products, skin products, butt wipes, and obviously shaving products. Basically, if you have a body, they have you covered. Not only do they ship right to your house, but the more you buy, the more you save. They call it their handsome discount. Now's the time to see how amazing high quality their products are. Right now they have this great offer where you can get their shave, shower, and oral starter kit, each for only $5. They sent me all three of their starter sets. Check it out. The shave starter kit comes with the executive razor with a 3-ounce tube of their Dr. Carver's shave butter. This is what's touching my face. The oral care starter kit comes with their weighted toothbrush and a trial version of their toothpaste. And finally, the shower starter set comes with 3 trial size versions of their amber lavender body cleanser, citrus and Hawaiian ginger face cleanser, and sage and black pepper shampoo. Join the club with one of their starter sets for just $5. After that, the restock box ships regular size products at regular size prices. You guys can get the exclusive deal over at dollarshaveclub.com/chaseontwowheels today. But yeah, guys, big shout out to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this first ride and making it possible for me to make this content better for you guys. So if you guys want to support a company that is obviously supporting me, make sure to go check out Dollar Shave Club at that link that I gave you guys, and it will also be in the description. But without further ado, let's get to why you're watching this video.
All right, guys, time for the sound check. 2019 KTM Duke 790. Patrick, if you will, please, sir. Thank you, Patrick. Time for the first ride, ladies and gentlemen. In typical Georgia fashion, it was 30 this morning. I dressed in all my heated gear, and now it's a beautiful, like, 60. and I have heated gloves with me, so, you know, power to me. But anyway, we got the 2019 KTM Duke 790 here. If you guys watch a lot of first rides, you know that I rode the 390 Duke, absolutely loved it. I rode the 690 Duke, absolutely hated it. So if we're gonna go back and forth each time, I should like this motorcycle a lot. I really love the way it looks. You guys just saw all the cinematics. We've got a parallel twin here that supposedly sounds like a V-twin. You just heard the sound check, so you guys know just as well as I do. Seat height, I'm 5'10", the back of my feet can barely just not touch the ground. Jesus Christ, this bike is light. It is tiny for a 790. We are going to take this thing for a spin. I spent a lot of good time on a Triumph Street Triple RS, which is around the same engine class as this. It's a little more expensive, but yeah, this thing looks like a needle. I kind of love it. Let's go. God, I wish I wore my normal gloves. You know, the engine sounds kind of toned down, but I'm kind of okay with it. The seat is really hard, but seems to work. Oh my God, is that where the brake is? Dude, I've got so much room on my legs. I don't know how to feel about that. I expected it to be so more crunched up. Oh my gosh, do I just have freedom here? Oh, I'm gonna have a good time on this, boys. Interesting. So I've got the sun reflecting down. I literally cannot see the screen at all. I have to get it in shadow to actually be able to see it. So that kind of sucks. When I was moving this thing around the showroom, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, it's so light. Like, you would not expect this bike to be as light as it is. And when you move it around, that's how you get shocked. God, the gears are really short. Like, what are we in? We're in street mode, and I feel like I barely went up the gears before I was having to shift. Oh my God, that air feels so good. These things need to go away. You need to. This is one of those bikes you've got to get bar end mirrors. So one thing that's really cool about this bike is you don't have to use the clutch to go up or downshift. Like, watch. And it just auto blips and downshifts you. Oh, it's so fantastic. This bike, it doesn't really, it feels weird. It's super light, but has gobbles of power. It's a weird combination. It almost doesn't feel normal. I don't know how to explain it. Probably doing a terrible job, but you know what? It is what it is. A lot of naked bikes have this feeling of like nothing in front of you. Because like if you're on a super sport, you know, you've got a big cluster. Oh, let me look at it. Look at it. Oh my God, it's so easy. I love it. A lot of super nakeds and naked bikes in general, you have a lack of stuff in front of you. So you kind of feel like you're just going through space. This one even more so, because everything's so far down. Like if I'm looking right here, like straight, I literally can't see the dash. My head has to look down to actually see the dash, which is kind of nuts. It really pushes towards that like floating through space feel. So we can talk about body position for a second. It's been a minute since I've had this much room on my legs. Like, my legs feel super comfortable. My back is pretty upright and my arms are kind of like resting down in a pretty horizontal position. I don't know why I keep using the clutch. I don't have to. If I was going to give one word to the body position, I would say it feels casual. You know, I don't feel attacky at all. Now, if I needed to, I could sit back in the seat and lean forward. So if I was going to go to the mountains, I would probably be into this position. But this really doesn't feel like an overly aggressive motorcycle at all. And it doesn't even, the throttle doesn't either until you start, you know what I mean? Oh, man, them downshifts, boy. Doing an auto blipper downshift in a bike, it makes it feel like such a more premium motorcycle. It's instantly going to make the bike feel like it's like $5 grand more expensive than it should be. So supposedly the wheelbase on this bike is a little longer, which makes it more stable, but it also hypothetically should mean the bike's harder to move back and forth, which I don't know, it's so light you can't really tell, you know, like If it was heavy and had a longer wheelbase, maybe it would, you know, not want to, it'd be a little sluggish. But with it being as light as it is, you don't. Oh, I love this. You know what this bike feels like? The lack of weight makes it gives it like a toy vibe. Like I'm just playing around on this little motorcycle toy. Ironically, it makes me feel really close to how my WR makes me feel. I have a WR 250, and you know, like I ride that bike around, I have a good time on it, and I just don't care because it's just fun. I'm not doing overly crazy stuff, but like you just don't have that feeling of when you're on like a sport bike. You are super careful because you don't want to drop it or anything. This bike has one of those like just fun characteristics. I will say, I have a ton of room on my legs, love that, but the rear brake is a little farther down than I kind of wish it was. If I was gonna purchase this motorcycle, I think I would have to adjust it. Let's see if I can change modes. Let's put it in sport. So sport should be a little more amped up than the street that we were currently in. Changing modes, super freaking simple. We're gonna get in front of the little Mini. All right, cool. Like I'm gonna slow you down. The engine braking is really smooth. I would prefer a little more engine braking, especially out of a parallel twin. You'd think you'd get a little more grunt pulling you back. Oh my God, the low down torque of this bike, dude. Here's what I'm worried about. So for right now, this bike on the road, on streets like this, feels phenomenal. But I'm really starting to worry about the highway on this bike. I'm worried that it's gonna cap out on the highway. I'm gonna have not a lot of power, and I'm gonna wait and we'll see. But for right now, dude, around the city, you know, around like normal roads, you know, like the 90% that most of us ride, this bike feels so good. And it's got the torque to just throw you around traffic. City king right here. Because like the thing with city streets is you can't have too much power, because normally with power comes weight, right? And you don't want a heavy motorcycle like slowing you down through traffic. Ooh, I can feel that ABS kicking in quick, boys. Okay, so now that we got out of that little city section of this first ride, I'm really thinking like we might have the perfect motorcycle if you're gonna be doing in-city riding. It's super light, you can throw it through traffic, it's no problem. It's got low end torque, allowing you to get in and out of traffic, and it's instantly available. And it's light enough to just throw around, and you know, you can have a good time, so you can like maneuver quickly. Having these handlebars up here, like you can just throw the bike around so easy. But we do have the highway coming up, because remember, I'm considering this motorcycle as my own. Let's check out, we got rain mode. I'll check out rain mode whenever we get off the highway, but let's check track out. Oh, okay. Track mode seems more of like a custom set. Like you change all the settings in track mode, whereas sport, rain, and street are all already programmed modes. Okay. I love the brake res thing. Like if I have a bike with a brake res that looks like that, I don't have to upgrade the brake reservoir. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna take these off for show, and I'm gonna take these little things off. One thing that I really do like about this bike is you don't have to do a lot to this bike to get it looking really freaking good. You know, you do the typical stuff. You take off the license plate bracket, get a little tail tidy situation, remove the mirrors, switch those boys out, and you've got a solid motorcycle, dude. 2019 KTM 790 Duke on the highway. Personally, I feel like this is going to be its biggest test, as far as I'm concerned. We'll let these people... Dude, I'm in track mode, and my God, I can tell. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yes! Oh, I love torquey motors, dude. They are so much more fun than freaking Super Sports. All right, what are we doing? We're doing third at $6 grand. I use my shitty mirrors. Okay, I still got some pull at 75. Yeah, the wind's pretty bad, not gonna lie. The question is not, is the wind good? Because nobody would expect the wind to be good on this bike, but is it manageable? I think that's more of the question. So we're going 80, what is that, 75 and fourth? Let's try to... Whoa, okay. No issues at all on the highway. It's a little windy, but like whatever, dude. I'm going 90 and 6 and I can still give it some gas and get through traffic, no problem at all. And I could have shifted down to 5th and got some more grunt than that. The way I think about the highway is, would I be able to commute to work in it? And would I be able to ride it to the mountains? And if I was riding this on the highway, it's got the power, but you know, you could lay on the engine like this or lay on the gas tank like this and you'd be fine. You know, like do this for the 2 hours it takes to get to the mountains. I could totally do that. I will say one thing that's annoying me, and it could be because I got these winter gloves on. This turn signal is like, I have to get my whole hand off just to be able to reach around it. So I wish that was a little smaller. You know, it's odd. I'm on the highway and as soon as I slow down to around 60, this bike just feels like it's suddenly in its comfort zone. Because I don't think anybody's going to buy a naked bike to go on the highway. Like, you're going to get a Super Sport. If you have friends and y'all like to go mob on the highway and just haul butt, you're not going to get a naked bike. That's just not, that bike is not made for that. But as soon as you slow down and you get into that right spot, this bike starts making so much sense. Alright, so something I do worry about is like the aggressive nature of it. Like, it doesn't feel as aggressive as I kind of want it to. This traffic is not going to really allow me to get into this turn, but it is what it is. See, one thing I kind of worry about a parallel twin is like it's really torquey, which is fun riding in the city, right? Because you got that power just ready to go. But when you get into a situation where you're doing technical riding, you know, that torquiness doesn't really help you out. It makes it a little more dangerous. Because you don't want to get a handful of throttle and it be in the middle of a turn, you know what I mean? Alright, so now we're off the highway and I wanna put it into rain mode to see how much it tones the engine down, because I can definitely tell a difference in track mode versus the street and sport modes as far as throttle control. Like, it gives you a lot of throttle, a lot more of the throttle when you get it out of that mode. This is one of those bikes where you've got to ride it in the right gear, because if you don't, it doesn't have a lot of power, so the power does die out. If I'm in too high of a gear, you know, the bike bogs down. Comparing this to how I used to feel about the street triple that I rode for a while, I feel like that bike had a more had more of an aggressive feeling than I'm getting off of this bike. All right, let's see if I can put it into rain mode. Whatever, we're in track mode for now. God, track gives it so much power, dude. Freaking just gobbles of power. Do you see it? It's like throwing me back. In a 790, in a light frame, it's terrifying. Like, I know for a fact all of these things combined, I'm definitely not going to recommend this to anybody that is like a newer rider, because it's hard to manage this much power. Granted, you can put it in rain mode and you'd be pretty solid, but I would just be worried a newer rider might get in trouble with this bike. Throws me back to my old SV650 days, dude. I love that auto blipper downshifting. That is the bee's mother freaking knees, son. I'm in track mode as far as power goes, and it's all in, or I don't like that. I definitely don't like track mode being like that. But you can, in track mode, you can put it into sport power mode or street power mode. I'm going to try to do that up here because I think that would be the move, dude. Let's see if we can change the power mode super quick. Let's leave track. Oh, that's what happens. Okay, that makes sense. So when you're in track mode, you're there. You're in it. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So we're now on the easier mode. We should be able to ride around like we're just having just a pleasant cruise around town in the rain. I'm in rain mode, so I didn't know how much power I would have. I should have gone. Definitely gonna go now. No, the fuck. Wow. You know what? I'll give KTM this, dude. The thing I tell you guys all the time is, if you're gonna put modes in a bike, those modes need to be drastically different. KTM did a really... KTM? I don't know what I just said. KTM did a really good job with the modes here. There is a drastic difference between all four of them. Rain, street, sport, and track. At least in the throttle response, it's ridiculous. Like, rain mode is so much more controllable. Like, insanely more. So nice job, KTM. Nice job doing what I tell manufacturers to do every time. I still maintain that this bike doesn't feel quite as aggressive and grunty as the Street Triple that I rode around for a while. Granted, Street Triple is a little more expensive than this bike, and it actually has less power. I think. I'm pretty sure it has less power. But it feels more sporty. It actually feels faster. If I'm gonna be honest, I think I kinda prefer the Street Triple to the parallel twin of the Duke 790. I do like the dash though. We got a full color dash. I love the fact that they've got the gear you're in up at the top left. It's very easy to see any of the data you need. We've got the temp on here, the gas gauge, and all this like relevant info down here. It is relatively simple to check all the stuff on the bike, so I appreciate all that. But I just remember riding the Street Triple around, and I don't know, I feel like I had more fun on that. Like, this bike is light, has a ton of power, but I don't know, something's not clicking here with me, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Alright guys, we're gonna take a brief pause from the riding section of this video. We're gonna pull in up here into this parking lot and check the bike out. I'll tell you one thing, I remember having a better time riding the Street Triple around, but massive but, with this bike having the auto blipper, it's got a really good argument for, like, I would legitimately pick this bike over the Street Triple solely on the fact that it's got the auto blipper downward, so I can go down and up. I think that's a bigger deal than a lot of people probably think. All right. Thanks, KTM. I've got the kill switch. I'll go ahead and shut you off now. Don't worry. 2019 Duke 790. It's a good looking bike, dude. It's a solid looking bike. You know, it's all personal preference. Some things that I feel like have to go. These guys are actually not bad. I get rid of them anyway. Throw those things in the garbage. Cut that thing off with a hacksaw and leave this on. Like, this is the type of bike that you need to have this seat and this handlebar if you have like a girlfriend or a wife, but you also need to have the cowling. So you put the cowling on most of the time, and then when the lady wants to ride with you, or you're going to have a person on the back, you do that. The Acro exhaust that they have for this bike looks solid. And I've told you guys a lot of times, I love the naked bikes because, like, any work you want to do on the bike, the entire engine is right there. I imagine you could take the freaking exhaust off and the engine would just drop out after you remove the engine mounting bolts. It's ridiculous. I love the sharpness here. This is a good looking bike, but when it sits next to a Super Duke, it looks teeny tiny. I love the headlight thing, the little insect face. The one thing I'm not a big fan of that I didn't really notice until this thing sat next to a Super Duke is this little camel hump. Let me move the handlebar so you guys can see it. I had, you know, obviously in the showroom, the Super Duke was right next to it. The Super Duke has basically this fairing, but it comes up all the way, and it gives it such a clean like look. And then seeing this little baby hump, you know, I mean, we're nitpicking, right? We're getting into like the tiny little details. We don't have anything crazy on the brake side. We have unadjustable front forks, which is not the greatest, especially, I think this bike comes in right around 10 grand brand new. It's like 10.5 or something. So you're buying a more expensive naked, like you get an FZ09, you know, for cheaper than this, which is going to be even more engine. It's going to be a Yamaha that you can, like, more people are going to have it. It's going to be cheaper to work on, cheaper to get parts for. But I will say that I feel like this bike looks heads and tails over the FZ09, my personal opinion. Not a big fan of the orange, but whatever. I did take a lot of really cool photos. If you guys want to see any of the photos, you can go to chaseontwowheels.com. I'll have a link down below. I do some ratings on the bike and take some photos, so if you guys want to check that out, there will be a top link down there. I do like the swing arm too. I was telling the guys at the shop, the swing arm kind of looks like it was 3D printed, but they left the front of it off. But it kind of flows with the bike. Like the swing arm has these like straight lines that work with the wheels. Overall, it's a good looking bike. I love it. I love the fact that I can see through the bike. I don't know why. Okay, boys, let's finish this first ride up. All right, so 2019 KTM Duke 790. I feel like the Duke line, now I will say I haven't ridden the 1290 Super Duke, but I've ridden the 390, I've ridden the 790 now, and I've run the 690. I'm not a fan of the 690, but the 390 and the 790 are up there when it comes to kings of city riding, like around town and stuff like that. I don't think there's many bikes out there that can get to as good as these bikes are for that. I think that that's its money spot. I think the person looking for this bike is you're gonna have a lot of choices. You're where I am right now. There are so many choices on the market for a middleweight naked. You've got the Street Triple, you've got the FZ09 and FZ07, or MT, whatever you want to call them. You've got the Duke 790. The Duke 390 is even a lower engined option, you know, if you're looking at types of bikes like that. You've got the cool stuff Honda's making. Like, there's just so much stuff on the market for the naked sector right now. Like it's almost like we have too many options. So the person that's gonna choose this bike, you know, over the FZ09, it's honestly going to be stuff like the auto blipper and the electronics package and the looks. I think those are going to be the determining factors if you're going to go with something like this. It's a little more expensive, has a little less power, but you know, if you're wanting a bike that not as many people are going to have, like more people are going to have FZ09s because it makes more financial sense. You get more bike for the money, right? But if you're the type of guy that you want to go to a bike night and you don't want to see as many people with the same bike, you're going to be looking at this bike. I do got to give this KTM credit for this guy. KTM in the past have been pretty bad about vibration on bikes, and that's one thing I'm noticing that this bike does not have a problem with. It has not felt vibrating on my foot pegs or on the bike anywhere. So like that, solid move. When it comes to throttle response on this bike, you know, it's got all those electronics that you can dial it in however you want. If you want it to be like, whoo, shit, that scared the hell out of me. If you want a bike that's really easy to ride, throw it in rain mode, call it a day, never have to worry about it. And if you want it to be the super twitchy parallel twin that it is, throw that thing into track mode and you will be thrown around. But yeah, super nice bike, super light, super powerful. I really like this thing. Would I get this bike over a Street Triple though? I don't know, man. It would be hard. It would be a really hard decision. I think personally right now in my book, the Street Triple and this bike are tied. I like the Street Triple for everything more than this bike, except for the auto down blipper, and that would legitimately make it a tie game for me. It's that big of a deal. If you guys have the opportunity, go do, I know KTM probably does like where they take the semis around, you can ride them. Y'all need to ride this bike and have that auto down blipper. It works so good. But anyways, guys, I'm Chase on Two Wheels. This has been a Chase on Two Wheels first ride. I gotta do a big shout out to my boys over at Mountain Motorsports. I would not have access to all these bikes without them guys, so make sure to check them out in the description down below. If you're in North Georgia, make sure to go into a Mountain Motorsports location, be like, hey, saw Chase on Two Wheels riding around and you guys letting him ride the bikes around, so thank you for letting him do that. And you guys talking to them about me makes my relationship with them much better, so I really appreciate you guys that go into Mountain Motorsports and you tell them you're there because you saw a Chase video. But anyways, guys, I am Chase on Two Wheels. If you guys like motorcycle content, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I put out a ton of it. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. We got to get up in that algorithm sauce, son. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys go ride positive. See you later. All right, outro crew. If you guys are me, right, and you liked everything about the Street Triple more than this bike, except for the fact that it doesn't have an auto down blipper, like, where are you at? Which one would you choose if you were me right now? 790 Duke or Street Triple RS? I don't know. I was hoping riding this bike I would be able to be like, oh, obviously I'm gonna pick this one. Not the case. Dang it. Maybe you guys can help me out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.